The international world seems powerless as the Israel-Hamas confrontation escalates. America deserves credit. At the same time as it intended to maintain providing military help to Israel in an effort to end the Gaza conflict, the United States wanted the battle to drag on. You get more countries involved in a conflict as it drags on, which is precisely what's occurring right now. Several countries are now involved in the war, with some siding with Israel and others with the Palestinians. Japan has recently taken the lead in opposing the offensive in the Red Sea by Yemeni rebels. At the end, however, what? Without picking a side, who is prepared to put a stop to the fighting? We will discover. Thank you for tuning in to yet another riveting episode of our program, POLITHINK SENSE. View the video if this is your first visit to the channel. Assuming all countries are on board with China's proposal, we can launch right away. The continuing violence in Gaza has been brought into the worldwide limelight by the latest kidnapping event in the Red Sea. There are concerns that the battle in the Middle East might escalate further after Hamas thanked the Houthi movement for their assistance. A surprising new participant has emerged in the Gaza war, joining the ranks of the several countries and armed groups already involved. Japan first. We need to discuss the Houthi movement, since Japan is preparing to respond to the Houthi acts by addressing the problem. In the 1990s, members of the Zidishia minority in Yemen founded the Houthi movement. It was established by Hussein Badran al-Houthi, a former lawmaker and prominent religious figure. Their goal was to fight back against Saudi Arabian and American influence in Yemen, while also preserving and reviving Zidi customs. Hussein al-Houthi's brother Abdul Malik al-Houthi succeeded him after his death in 2004 and spearheaded the movement's ongoing struggle against the Yemeni government and its backers, which included Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. Claiming to speak for all Yemenis, the Houthi movement gained traction during the 2011 rebellion and took over the city in 2014. Aside from attacking Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Israel, and Japan, the organization took a stand against Israel and the United States while supporting the Palestinian cause. Oman was one of many countries that designated the group as a terrorist organization, along with the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. Neither Russia nor Iran has labeled them as such in relation to the current war between Israel and Hamas. According to the strategic body ABMB, there are growing fears about the conflict's possible expansion after the commander of the Houthi movement in Yemen indicated his desire to increase assaults on Israel, maybe even targeting Israeli ships in the Red Sea. As a result of their promise to strike Israeli-linked boats, the heli group later launched missile and drone assaults on Israel, drawing attention to the increasing danger of the battle expanding throughout the Middle East beyond Israel and Hamas. In the Red Sea, the Houthi rebels took control of a ship called Galaxy Leader, saying it belonged to an Israeli tycoon. The 25-person crew was held captive by the rebels when they commandeered the ship. The situation in the area became even more complicated when Israel denounced the move as a terrorist attack by Iran. An Israeli millionaire was eventually found to be the owner of the ship. Recognizing that the stolen ship was run by a Japanese corporation, Japan has taken a strong stance in response to the tragedy. Japanese Foreign Minister Yoko Kakawa has called for the ship's and crew's swift release. Japan is talking with other nations engaged, notably Israel, and is interacting directly with the Houthi rebels. The three countries of Iran, Oman, and Saudi Arabia have all demanded the crew's and ship's immediate release. The problem takes on a new dimension with Japan's participation, which might lead to its escalation. Difficulties in the region. The situation is only getting worse, and Japan's intervention might make things worse in the Middle East by escalating tensions and maybe even leading to a showdown between the Houthi rebels and the Japanese government. Who should we hold accountable for doing nothing? In order to have this conversation, we must be aware of how the Red Sea situation might escalate the Israel-Hamas fight into a global war. Energy and commerce throughout the world rely on the Red Sea. A vital channel for oil tankers and commercial ships, supply links the Suez Canal to the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Everyone is worried about the kidnapping of the Galaxy Leader, but the UK, which keeps an eye on maritime security in the area, is particularly worried. The event, which took place close to Houthi, a port city in Yemen, underscores the Red Sea's vital role in global commerce. Concerning this issue, rather than taking additional action to resolve the dispute, worldwide communities have just voiced their dissatisfaction verbally, which is insufficient to halt the conflict's rapid expansion. The United States, alarmed by the seriousness of the situation, verified the hijacking specifics and issued a warning about possible more moves by the Houthi rebels. Intercepting rockets and drones fired by the Houthi rebels, the U.S. Navy has been vigorously protecting its interests and partners in the area. The United States is among the several countries that have demanded an end to the conflict amicably. In what ways has the international community or the United States intervened? Send us a message letting us know whether the video is satisfying you before we go any further. If so, you can show your support by subscribing to our channel and giving us a thumbs up if you like this video about China's growing influence and economic might. Alright, let's go on. According to Western media, there is a great deal of anxiety over a certain region's current conflict. However, a closer look reveals that the real fear is more about the possibility of the war's termination. Statements made by prominent persons, such as President Biden, have brought attention to this perspective by suggesting that some geopolitical goals could benefit from extending the fight. Israel has the right to defend itself, and Biden recently made statements on the war that stress this right while calling for an end to the crisis in Gaza. Interestingly, he implied in his comments that the conflict could have to be extended in order to accomplish these aims. The genuineness of the worries voiced by Western leaders seems doubtful in light of this. It is believed that the West has geopolitical interests in keeping the war running, which is why they may not be keen for it to end. The war's sudden conclusion can cause a shift in power relations and an unmanageable power vacuum. This view holds that the West is more concerned with preserving the current situation that serves its interests than with pursuing a quick end to the war, although there is worry that it may become a global conflict if it continues. The idea that protracted battles might attract other countries and lead to a greater scale is the basis of this anxiety. War between many nations has the potential to have catastrophic effects on all of them, as well as on the rest of the globe. Being a witness to the continuing strife in one area makes one wonder whether there is any hope of resolving it. Is it accurate to say that superpowers like the U.S. are unable to stop this clash? Upon further inspection, it becomes apparent that a feasible option is being considered. Starting with a two-state plan, China has persistently advocated for a two-state resolution to the conflict. Since the start, China has been loud about this plan, which involves the construction of two autonomous nations side by side, with the goal of each being able to peacefully coexist. Many believe that our ongoing military aid to Israel is to blame for the protracted length of the war. The United States has showed no symptoms of becoming weary in its support for Israel, even the massive devastation and loss of life. Some have questioned the U.S.'s dedication to ending the war peacefully and the real motivations for its engagement in light of this consistent support. Curiously, some countries seem to be sick of the protracted war and want an end to it. Death toll. Many countries are rethinking their role in the war due to the economic burden and global instability caused by the continuous fighting. A world liberated from the shackles of long-running wars is becoming an increasingly common goal of the international community. Several countries who are trying to halt the fighting have backed China's two-state option. By supporting the two-state model, this proposal provides a possible way ahead and is in line with the worldwide desire for a peaceful conclusion. A more peaceful global community is emerging as a result of nations' signals of intent to end protracted hostilities. The fact that China's proposal has received support from throughout the world shows that there is a growing agreement that talks and nonviolence should take precedence over confrontation. In order to achieve peace and stability that lasts, it is necessary to seek sustainable alternatives, which are becoming more apparent as the globe changes. Please know how much we value your feedback and thoughts by taking a time to express your gratitude right here. As usual, your insights astound us. How likely is it that Japan will agree to China's two-state proposal? How come we still haven't found a solution if the majority of countries agree? When it comes to forging peace, who are the people standing in the way? Post a comment and tell us, What makes you believe the United States will ever want for this war to cease? In the future, would you want to see similar videos? If so, hit the like button, spread the word, and subscribe for more films detailing China's incredible rise to global power and influence. Be sure to check back.